What if I told you that the first 5 minutes after you wake up could decide not just how your day unfolds, but how your life unfolds? Not with pills, not with expensive treatments, but with a handful of simple choices rooted in science, grounded in ancient wisdom that could protect your health, sharpen your mind, and help you walk through life with quiet strength. The Stoics believed that the way you begin anything shapes its destiny. And what are mornings, if not the brushstrokes that set the tone for everything that follows? Most people drift into their mornings half awake, letting the world's noise dictate their direction. But imagine starting your day like a seasoned captain steering through a storm. Not frantic, not rushed, but with clarity, control, and a sense of purpose that no chaos can touch. Those first 5 minutes hold the power to build resilience in your body, peace in your mind, and resolve in your spirit. This is where real change begins, not in grand gestures, but in small deliberate acts that echo through the years. If you value your time, your body, and your mind, consider subscribing as a pledge to yourself. Let it mark the moment you stop drifting and start living deliberately, building a life worthy of your finite days. Step 1. Wake up your body with water. You know that strange, heavy feeling you sometimes get in the morning, when your eyes are open but your body feels like it's still somewhere deep in the night? That's not just laziness or not being a morning person. It's biology. Your body has been quietly working through the night, repairing tissues, regulating hormones, sorting through memories, and it's been doing it all without taking in a single drop of water. As you sleep, you lose moisture with every breath and through your skin. By the time the sun is up, you're running on the last drops in your tank. You may feel like you've rested, but on the inside, you're already playing catch-up. And here's the strange part. Most people respond to this internal drought by pouring in coffee first thing. Don't get me wrong, coffee has its place, but right after waking. It's like firing up an engine without oil. You might get moving, but you're forcing the machine to work harder than it should. The fix is so simple, it's almost too easy to dismiss. Drink a glass of room temperature water with a squeeze of lemon the moment you wake up. No excuses, no delay. Before the phone, before the news, before even thinking about coffee. Why room temperature? Because your body has just emerged from hours of rest, and in this delicate moment, your system needs to expand, not contract. Cold water makes blood vessels tighten. Room temperature water allows them to open, encouraging a smooth flow through your entire system. The lemon is not just for taste. It's loaded with vitamin C and potassium, giving your immune system a gentle nudge and helping your liver flush out the waste it's been filtering all night. Think of it as a warm handshake between your body and the day ahead. The Stoics often spoke of beginning the day with intention, not chaos. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive." A simple glass of water might not seem like a profound act, but when done deliberately, it becomes a small ritual of self-respect. And there's something deeper here. It's not just about hydration, it's about how you treat yourself in those first fragile minutes of the day. If you rush into stimulation, caffeine, screens, noise, you start the day reactive, not responsive. Carl Jung once wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." In the same way, if you let unconscious habits steer your mornings, you might spend years feeling drained and not understand why. By choosing water over coffee first thing, you're making a conscious choice to nourish rather than deplete, to align with your body instead of forcing it into overdrive. Once your body is rehydrated, it's time to wake up your circulation. Think about it. Your blood has been pooling and moving slowly for hours while you slept. Your joints are stiff, your balance is off, And your mind isn't firing on all cylinders yet. And yet, what do most people do? They stumble from the bed to the kitchen, dragging their body into the day without giving it a chance to catch up. The Stoics believed in aligning with nature's rhythms, not fighting them. Just like the sun doesn't leap from horizon to noon in an instant, neither should you launch yourself into the day without preparation. All you need is a minute, just one, to bring your system online. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart. Breathe in deeply, raising your arms overhead, and feel your ribs expand. Lower them slowly, letting tension drain from your shoulders. Roll those shoulders back and forward. Gently turn your neck side to side. Rise onto your toes and back down slowly 10 times. These movements are not exercise, they're a signal. They tell your body, we are awake now, we are ready. And when you start the day with readiness, not rush, everything flows better. This is where psychology and physiology meet. Your physical readiness affects your mental state. If your habit is to begin each morning in a reactive slump, you'll carry that sluggishness into your choices, your work, and your relationships. If your habit is to start with mindful movement, you'll feel the difference, not just in your body, but in your clarity and mood. And science backs it up. Just 60 seconds of gentle morning movement increases circulation, sends oxygen to your brain, and can even improve your balance for the rest of the day. Now, with your blood flowing and your body alert, there's one thing you can't overlook: feeding your strength. This is where so many people unknowingly sabotage themselves. You wake up, maybe you move a little, maybe you hydrate, and then nothing until lunch. Or maybe just a quick, carb-heavy breakfast that spikes your blood sugar and leaves you crashing before mid-morning. Here's the truth. When you wake up, your body is in a fasted state. If it doesn't get protein within the first hour, it starts breaking down muscle tissue to create energy. Over time, especially as you age, that leads to weakness, frailty, and slower recovery from any physical challenge. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." In this case, it's not time you're wasting, it's strength. You don't need a massive breakfast to stop this process. A simple protein shake, a couple of boiled eggs, a spoonful of Greek yogurt with protein powder. Small, quick, and easy. Done consistently, this one habit can preserve your muscle mass for years. It also balances blood sugar, curbs cravings, and sharpens your mental focus. Think of it as putting bricks into the foundation of your house each morning. Without them, the structure weakens. With them, it stands strong against the years. And here's the part most people don't realize. Your physical strength is directly tied to your independence. The day you can no longer carry your groceries, get up from a chair without help, or walk a mile without resting is the day your freedom shrinks. Feeding your strength is not just about looking good, it's about living free. But even strength won't carry you far if you lose mobility. After a night of stillness, the fluid in your joints thickens, making movement stiff and sometimes painful. Push your body too quickly in that state, and you risk inflammation or injury. The answer: 90 seconds of mobility work right after your circulation reset. Sit on the edge of your bed, rotate your ankles 10 times each way, then your knees. Stand. Twist gently from the waist side to side, lean left and right. Roll your shoulders again and take a deep breath. These aren't workouts. They're invitations to your body, signals that you value its years and respect its limits. Epictetus once said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." If you want to be the kind of person who moves with ease well into your later years, then you have to keep company with habits that uplift your body, not wear it down. The small, unglamorous things that keep that freedom alive. Finally, there's the mind. You can have a hydrated body, flowing blood, strong muscles, and supple joints. But if your mind is clouded, anxious, or scattered, the day can still slip away from you. The problem is, most people let the world in before they've even had a chance to center themselves. The phone buzzes, the news shouts, and suddenly you're carrying the weight of the world before you've even brushed your teeth. Carl Jung observed, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls." That's why I believe the last step of your morning should be mental clarity. Take 1 minute, just one, before you touch a screen to sit in silence. Close your eyes and replay yesterday in reverse. What was the last thing you did before bed? Who did you talk to? What did you eat? What color was the sky in the afternoon? This isn't just about memory, it's about presence. Neuroscience calls this building cognitive reserve, the brain's ability to adapt and stay sharp even as you age. The Stoics called it living with awareness, knowing where you've been so you can see clearly where you're going. Hydration, movement, nourishment, mobility, clarity. 5 simple acts that take less than 5 minutes in total, but if practiced with intention, can change the course of your days and, over time, the course of your life. And here's the deeper point. These aren't just health hacks. They're small daily victories over the part of you that would rather drift than direct, that would rather be pulled than choose. The world will always try to steal your mornings. Your job is to protect them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." If these really were your last years, wouldn't you want them to be strong, clear, and full of purpose? Then start with the first 5 minutes, because if you can master them, you can master the rest. Step 2. Move before you go anywhere. You know those mornings where you wake up, swing your legs out of bed, and the moment you stand up, the world tilts a little. That isn't just getting older or having a slow morning. It's your body reminding you that it's been in stillness for hours. Your blood has been flowing at a calmer pace. Your joints have been in the same positions for too long, and your brain hasn't yet shifted into full alertness. You might think the best solution is to stumble straight toward the coffee maker, hoping caffeine will shock you into feeling awake. But here's the truth. If you try to launch your day without properly waking up your body first, you're building the whole morning on a shaky foundation. And shaky foundations don't last. The Stoics believed that the way you begin anything deeply shapes how it unfolds. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If we apply that to the body, the way you move in the first minutes after waking will color your energy for the rest of the day. So instead of dragging yourself half asleep into the kitchen, give your body the warm-up it's asking for. Don't think of this as exercise. It's more like turning the key in the ignition before driving. Stand right beside your bed. Place your feet shoulder-width apart. Feel the ground under you. Inhale slowly, raising your arms above your head, feeling your lungs stretch and your ribs expand. As you exhale, lower your arms and roll your shoulders back 5 slow circles, then forward 5 more. Gently tilt your head from side to side, allowing the stiffness in your neck to loosen. Finally, rise onto your toes and slowly lower yourself back down, repeating it 10 times like you're pressing into the floor with strength and control. This isn't about building muscle or breaking a sweat. It's about sending a message to every system in your body. We are here, we are awake, we are ready. Carl Jung once said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." In a way, this small ritual is doing both. You're waking up inside your body and preparing it to meet the outside world. And while it might seem insignificant, this 1-minute wake-up changes more than you think. When you breathe deeply and move with intention first thing in the morning, you're increasing oxygen flow to your brain. That extra oxygen sharpens your mental clarity, stabilizes your balance, and even lifts your mood before you've had a single sip of coffee. The act of rolling your shoulders, tilting your neck, and rising on your toes gently resets your circulation, helping to prevent that dizzy, off-balance feeling you sometimes get. Think of it like gently turning on the lights in a dark room instead of flooding it with a blinding flash. You're giving your body time to adjust, to align, to prepare. Seneca wrote, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." If each day is its own lifetime, then these first minutes are the birth of it. How you start will influence everything that follows. There's also a deeper psychological effect here. By pausing to wake your body before diving into the day, you're breaking the cycle of rushing. Most of us live in a constant state of go, 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 without realizing that we've trained ourselves to be reactive instead of intentional. That 1 minute of movement isn't just a physical reset, it's a mental one. It's you telling yourself, "I am in control of my day. My body moves when I choose, not just when life pushes me." Imagine this for a moment. You wake up, and instead of feeling like your body is dragging behind your mind, the two start the day together, in sync. You're not rushing to catch up to yourself. You're not forcing alertness through caffeine or jolting your system awake with stress. You're grounded, your breathing is steady, your balance is sure. This state doesn't just make you feel better, it affects your choices. A body that starts the day balanced and oxygenated is less likely to crave a sugar rush mid-morning. A mind that starts the day calmly engaged is less likely to react impulsively to stress. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." If you want to be someone who moves through the day with calm, control, and focus, then this is one of the things you have to do. It's tempting to skip something so small. A minute can feel like nothing, especially when the day ahead feels overwhelming. But here's the thing, if you don't have 1 minute for your body, the rest of the day will take its toll without asking permission. These subtle morning movements work like armor, protecting you from the stiffness, imbalance, and low energy that creep in when you start cold. They're also a reminder of something the Stoics valued deeply, that the mind and body are not separate in their functioning. To tend to one is to tend to the other. Marcus Aurelius advised himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In this context, the outside events include the autopilot habits that pull you straight into chaos. When you choose to begin with presence and movement, you're reclaiming that power. And the beauty of this is, it's adaptable. Whether you're 20 or 80, whether you're athletic or not, these movements can meet you where you are. Over time, you might add more: hip rotations, light stretches, even mindful squats. But the foundation is the same. Start by simply waking the body in a way that feels good. This is not about pushing limits. It's about honoring what your body has already done for you through the night, repairing, restoring, keeping you alive, and now preparing it to carry you through the day. Jung's words come to mind here. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Morning movement is a way of looking inward, of acknowledging your own needs before the noise of the world drowns them out. Here's what most people miss. The small things you do repeatedly are far more powerful than the big things you do occasionally. A dramatic workout once a week can't undo the strain of ignoring your body every morning. But a consistent minute of mindful movement each day can create a chain reaction: better posture, improved energy, sharper focus, and a more grounded mindset. The Stoics didn't wait for someday to care for their minds and bodies. they built the practice into daily life. And if you're thinking, "But I'm too busy in the mornings," remember, this is less time than it takes to scroll through a single social media post. Seneca's reminder fits perfectly here. Life is long if you know how to use it. Your mornings are one of the most underused resources you have. Why not claim them back? If you make this a habit, you'll notice the difference not just in how you feel, but in how you carry yourself. Your walk will feel steadier, your thoughts clearer, and your reactions calmer. This isn't magic. It's physiology meeting intention. You're not just keeping your joints loose and your circulation active. You're setting a tone of self-respect for the entire day. And self-respect, as the Stoics would remind us, is at the root of all discipline. Aristotle's wisdom applies here. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. When your body and mind are both energized in harmony, life feels more manageable, more purposeful. And all it takes is one mindful minute before you step into the stream of your day. In the end, it's not about whether you have time for this. It's about whether you value your time enough to use it well. Each morning gives you a choice. You can start on autopilot, letting habit and hurry drag you along, or you can take the wheel, set your pace, and begin with clarity. That 1 minute by your bed isn't just movement, it's a statement. It says, "I will not rush my start. I will not let the world dictate my first steps. I choose to begin on my terms." And when you start your day like that, you carry that quiet power into everything else. Step 3. Feed your strength early. You ever notice how some people seem to get weaker year after year, even though they're not doing anything obviously wrong? They're not sick, they're not bedridden, but their grip gets softer, their steps shorter, their energy lower. Most chalk it up to getting older, but there's a hidden process happening that no one warns you about. It starts quietly, right after you wake up. You open your eyes, go about your morning, and think you're fine. But inside, your body is already making a choice, where it's going to get its fuel from. And if you haven't eaten, it's not reaching for some magical reserve of energy. It's taking it from your own muscles, slowly, silently, every single day. That process is called catabolism, and it's a slow thief. You don't notice it right away, at least not until you find yourself struggling to carry the groceries, open a jar, or climb stairs without feeling it in your bones. The Stoics often spoke about guarding what is precious, and Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You must build up your life action by action, and be content if each one achieves its goal." In the same way, you build or lose your strength action by action, morning by morning. This is where most people underestimate the power of early nourishment. It's not about eating a giant breakfast or forcing yourself into a full meal before you're ready. It's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to protect what you've worked for: your muscle mass, your stability, your ability to move through life without depending on others. A scoop of protein in water or milk, a couple of boiled eggs with a pinch of salt, a bowl of Greek yogurt with a spoon of protein powder stirred in. Small, quick, clean, that's all it takes. The moment you do this, you're sending your body a message: "Don't touch my muscle, I'm fueling you the right way." Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Well, who you truly are physically is shaped by the habits you repeat. You can't be strong in the years ahead if your daily pattern chips away at you now. The beauty of this habit is that it doesn't require much effort, but the return is enormous. Protein in the morning stabilizes your blood sugar, meaning you don't crash mid-morning and reach for sugary snacks. It tames those random cravings that can throw your diet off course. It also sharpens your focus because your brain thrives on steady energy, not peaks and valleys. If your repeated act is to skip protein until lunch, You're repeatedly telling your body to burn through itself to survive. But if your repeated act is to feed it well in the first hour, you're building a habit of preservation, of strength, of excellence in the simplest form. There's also a deeper philosophical layer to this. The Stoics believed in living in harmony with nature, understanding what your body and mind truly need, and providing it without excess, without delay. In the natural world, the first moments of the day are for replenishment. Animals don't wake up and wait 6 hours to eat. They instinctively restore their energy to face the demands ahead. Epictetus reminded us, no great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. If you want to be strong, capable, and independent, then you have to do what preserves those qualities, building them little by little each day. That starts with protecting your muscle mass now, before it's gone. And here's the thing, once muscle is lost, it's far harder to get it back. Science backs this up. After about age 30, most adults naturally lose 3 to 5% of muscle mass per decade if they're not actively working to maintain it. That decline accelerates after 60. But this isn't inevitable decline, it's preventable. Early morning protein is one of the simplest lines of defense you can put in place. Imagine it like a savings account. Every gram of protein you take in the morning is a deposit toward your future strength. Every morning you skip it is a small withdrawal. Over time, the balance is either enough to carry you or so empty that life's demands become debts you can't pay. People often overcomplicate nutrition. They search for superfoods, exotic powders, and complex meal plans, thinking the solution has to be elaborate to be effective. But the Stoics would laugh at this idea. They valued simplicity, not because it was trendy, but because simplicity works. A boiled egg isn't glamorous, but it's effective. A scoop of plain protein powder isn't Instagram-worthy, but it delivers exactly what your muscles need. Jung noted, "In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order." In the chaos of modern diet trends, there's a simple order that has always worked. Give your body what it needs, when it needs it, and it will serve you well. When you start doing this consistently, you begin to notice subtle changes. That mid-morning fog starts to lift. The random snack cravings become less intense. Your workouts, or even just your daily activities, feel easier. You recover faster from strain. And more than that, you carry yourself differently. Strength has a way of showing up in how you walk, how you stand, how you handle the small physical demands of life. It's not about looking like a bodybuilder. It's about moving through the world, knowing your body is prepared to meet the demands of the day. Think about the alternative. You keep skipping protein in the mornings. You keep thinking it's no big deal. And one day you notice your legs feel weaker. You get tired more quickly carrying the groceries. You hesitate before climbing the stairs. Those little hesitations grow. And soon you start avoiding certain activities because they feel like too much. That's how independence slips away, not all at once, but piece by piece. The Stoics didn't fear death as much as they feared not truly living while alive. And living fully means having the physical capacity to engage with the world, to experience life without limitation. The choice to eat protein early isn't just about nutrition, it's about choosing freedom over fragility. This habit is also a reminder that discipline in small things leads to discipline in larger things. It's easy to say you want to be healthy, strong, and independent, but real commitment shows up in the small, consistent actions you take when no one's watching. Jung wrote, "The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct." In a way, building new habits is both discipline and play. It's an experiment in seeing how different you can feel by making a small change and watching it transform your life over time. Here's the simple truth. Every morning gives you an opportunity to either invest in your strength or spend it recklessly. That investment doesn't take hours, it doesn't require complicated recipes, and it doesn't demand perfection. It just asks for one choice. Within the first hour of waking, give your body the protein it needs to protect the muscle you have. Over weeks and months, this builds a quiet, steady resilience. You may not notice it in a single day, but when life challenges you, whether it's carrying a heavy bag, hiking a hill, or simply playing with your kids or grandkids, you'll feel the difference. In the end, early morning protein is more than a health tip. It's a daily practice of valuing yourself. It's choosing not to let time and neglect take what you've worked for. It's aligning your actions with your intentions, which is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Each morning is a chance to prove to yourself that you care enough to protect your future, even in the smallest way. So tomorrow, when you wake up, remember this. Your body is already deciding where to pull its fuel from. Make sure you give it a better option. And in doing so, you're not just feeding your body, you're feeding the life you want to live. Step 4. Loosen your joints, keep your freedom. There's something strange that happens to your body while you sleep. You drift off, thinking you're resting, and for the most part you are. But while your muscles and mind are taking a break, your joints are quietly settling in. They're not moving, not flexing, not rotating. And in that stillness, the fluid that normally keeps them gliding smoothly, the synovial fluid, starts to thicken. You don't feel it immediately, but it's there, waiting for you in the morning. Then, the moment your feet hit the floor, you're asking your body to perform, sometimes to carry weight, twist, bend, or reach, without giving it any time to prepare. That's when the grinding starts. Not loud, not dramatic, but enough to create friction between surfaces that were designed to move effortlessly. Over days, months, and years, that friction becomes stiffness. Stiffness becomes pain. And pain, if left unchecked, can quietly steal away your freedom of movement. The Stoics believed that the body was an instrument of action. If you fail to care for it, you limit the scope of your life. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." But when the impediment is preventable joint stiffness, it's foolish to let it stand in the way at all. The truth is, most people only notice mobility when they lose it. You don't think twice about bending to tie your shoes until one day it's a struggle. You don't think about twisting to grab something from the back seat until you feel that sharp, limiting pull. We tend to assume these limitations are inevitable, a natural part of aging, but that's not the full story. While time plays its role, neglect plays a much bigger one. Carl Jung said, "We cannot change anything until we accept it." Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Accepting that your body will change over time is wise. But resigning yourself to losing function just because you're getting older, that's not acceptance, that's surrender. The fix is simple, almost deceptively so. All it takes is 90 seconds after you've rehydrated and reset your circulation. Think of it as giving your joints the green light before you ask them to handle the weight and complexity of the day. Sit at the edge of your bed, feet flat on the floor. Rotate your ankles slowly, 10 circles in one direction, then 10 the other. Feel the subtle stretch, the fluid beginning to warm and loosen. Then move to your knees, gentle rotations, nothing forced. Stand up, twist your torso side to side, letting your spine gently wake up. Lean to the left, then to the right, feeling your sides stretch and your core muscles engage. Roll your shoulders forward, then back, breathing deeply with each motion. This isn't exercise in the traditional sense, it's conversation. You're telling your body, I value you enough to start gently. I won't throw you into the fire without first lighting the match. When you make this a habit, you'll start to notice something subtle yet powerful. Tasks that used to cause discomfort, reaching up to grab something, bending to pick something off the floor, twisting to look over your shoulder, begin to feel easier again. The fear of tweaking something starts to fade. Mobility isn't about doing cartwheels at 70 or bending into yoga poses you see online. It's about maintaining independence. It's the quiet assurance that you can get out of a chair without bracing yourself, that you can step off a curb without hesitating, that you can carry your groceries without wondering if your knees will hold. Aristotle once said, "Quality is not an act, it is a habit." Your mobility in later life won't be the result of a single act or even a burst of short-term motivation. It will be the sum of the daily habits you practice now. 90 seconds might feel insignificant today, but in 10 years, those 90 seconds will be the reason you can still move freely while others your age struggle. There's also a psychological benefit to protecting your mobility. When you start your day by deliberately moving your joints, you're sending a signal to your mind. I'm capable. I'm prepared. I respect the connection between my body and my choices. The Stoics often taught that preparation is the foundation of freedom. Seneca wrote, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." In the same way, physical freedom in later life is not luck. It's the opportunity you've prepared for in the smallest of moments, over and over again. 90 seconds in the morning isn't much, but it's the opportunity to build a foundation you'll stand on for decades. Think of the alternative. Skip the habit and stiffness slowly takes root. You start compensating, avoiding certain movements, taking shorter steps, relying on furniture to get up. These small adjustments snowball, and before you know it, your world shrinks. You avoid the long walks, you hesitate to travel, you pass on opportunities not because you don't want them, but because you physically can't take them. Mobility work is a humble practice. There's no applause, no visible transformation overnight. But much like the principles of Stoicism, the benefits are revealed in the way you handle life's challenges, not in theory, but in lived reality. Carl Jung once observed, "In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order." Morning mobility might look like a small, unremarkable act in the chaos of life, but it's part of the secret order that keeps you moving through it with grace. The time to build that order is not when the stiffness has already set in, but now, while you still have the capacity to prevent it. This isn't about adding another chore to your morning. It's about reclaiming something that's already yours. Your joints were designed to move. Your body was designed to carry you through life with strength and stability. But design alone isn't enough. It's maintenance that keeps the design functional. Aristotle taught, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Excellence in movement is no different. You earn it in the smallest, most consistent ways. And when those ways take less than 2 minutes, the real question becomes, what's the cost of not doing it? When you look at mobility as the foundation of independence, everything changes. You're no longer thinking, "I should stretch so I feel good today." You're thinking, "I will move so I can live well tomorrow." That shift from short-term comfort to long-term capability is where true discipline lives. If you would be free, if you would be strong, if you would be able, then you must do what preserves those qualities. Not in grand gestures, but in humble, repeated acts. 90 seconds a day. That's the investment. And the return? A life that stays open, wide, and within your control for as long as possible. Step 5. Clear your mind before the world fills it. There's a moment right after you wake when the world is still quiet. The light is soft, your thoughts are your own, and nothing has rushed in yet to claim your attention. But for most people, that moment lasts about 3 seconds, just long enough to reach for their phone. The glow of the screen spills into their eyes, and instantly they're somewhere else. In someone's vacation photos, in the headlines of a world on fire, in a flood of notifications that demand their mind before it's even had a chance to stretch. And just like that, they've handed over the wheel. The rest of the day is spent reacting to what's been thrown at them instead of shaping it from within. The Stoics warned us about this kind of surrender. What if you did it differently? What if you treated those first minutes not as a warm-up for the chaos, but as sacred space, yours alone? Before you touch anything digital, before you scroll or check or reply, sit quietly for 1 minute. That's it, just one. Close your eyes and gently walk backward through the day you just lived. Start with the very last thing you remember doing before bed. Maybe it was turning off the light. Maybe it was the sound of rain tapping at the window. Then move to the moments before that. What you were thinking, what you were feeling. See the people you spoke to, recall their words, their expressions. Picture the color of the sky, the smell of the air, the taste of the food you ate. Go all the way back to the morning, retracing the steps like you're following a thread through time. At first, this might feel odd or even pointless. Your mind will want to skip, to jump ahead, to think about today instead. But keep bringing it back. You're not doing this to be nostalgic. You're doing it to sharpen the most powerful tool you have, your awareness. Neuroscientists call this building cognitive reserve, the brain's ability to adapt, to stay sharp, to resist decline even as you age. In the same way that lifting weights strengthens your muscles, this kind of deliberate recall strengthens the neural pathways that keep your mind agile. And it's not just about memory, it's about presence. Carl Jung said, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." This practice is looking inside, not to judge, but to awaken. It's worth remembering that in Stoic philosophy, the morning was never meant to be rushed. Epictetus told his students to take time to prepare their mind before stepping into the demands of the day. This wasn't laziness, it was strategy. A soldier doesn't walk into battle without checking his armor. A sailor doesn't leave the harbor without charting the course. Why would you step into your day without first making sure your mind is steady? This 1-minute exercise is your armor check. It tells your mind, I am awake, I am aware, I choose how I enter the world. And here's the thing, you'll start noticing changes. After a week or two of this, you might catch yourself remembering details you would have lost before. The name of the street you walked down, the face of the cashier who handed you change, the scent of the coffee shop as you passed. Your mind will start holding on to things it used to toss away without a second thought. And the more details you notice, the more vivid your days become. Seneca once observed, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Often we fail to notice life simply because we've stopped paying attention to it. This practice also reshapes your relationship with time. When you replay yesterday in reverse, you see how it was made, moment by moment, choice by choice. You notice the patterns. Maybe you spent hours lost in things that didn't matter. Maybe you lingered in a conversation that filled you with energy. You begin to see what serves you and what drains you. This is self-knowledge, and the Stoics considered it the foundation of a good life. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up, if thou wilt always look." When you sit in silence and reflect, you're looking well into yourself, finding that source. And let's be honest, There's something deeply refreshing about claiming even 60 seconds from the grip of the modern world. In a time when everything is designed to pull at your attention, to hook your emotions, to keep you scrolling, that 1 minute becomes an act of rebellion. It's a reminder that your mind belongs to you. You can choose to start the day grounded instead of scattered. Jung once observed, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls." This practice is the opposite. It's you, sitting with your own soul before letting the day pull you away from it. Some mornings, you'll find the minute stretches itself. You'll want to sit longer, to follow the thread deeper, to see not just what happened yesterday, but how you moved through it. Other mornings, you'll resist it, itching to check the news or your messages. That resistance is a sign you need the practice even more. The Stoics didn't shy away from what was uncomfortable. They saw it as training. Just as a muscle grows through stress, the mind grows through resisting its impulses. And here's the beauty. You don't have to fight for hours. You just have to claim a single deliberate minute. Over time, you'll see how starting your day in creation mode instead of reaction mode changes the quality of everything else. The tasks you take on feel less like demands and more like choices. Conversations become more intentional. You're less likely to be pulled into pointless arguments or distracted by things that don't matter. You begin to live, as the Stoics would say, according to nature, in alignment with what is essential, not what is noisy. Aristotle taught, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. This minute is a daily step toward knowing yourself better. So tomorrow morning, when the urge hits to grab your phone, pause. Let that urge pass. Close your eyes. Follow yesterday backward like a river returning to its source. See it, feel it, remember it. And when you open your eyes again, carry that clarity into your day. You'll find that the noise of the world still comes, but it no longer dictates the rhythm of your mind. You've already chosen your own. Because in the end, this isn't just about memory or brain health. It's about ownership. Ownership of your attention, ownership of your time, ownership of your life. Every day is a page you can't rewrite, but you can choose how the next one begins. Protect those first minutes. Guard your mind. Live with intention, because the way you start is the way you live. Thank you for being a part of Stoic Journal. Now, choose your next step wisely and watch one of the videos on your screen to keep building the strength and clarity you deserve.